And she has a responsibility to produce these gods and goddesses and bring them onto the planet. That's a bigger relationship construct. My parents, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I was adopted. I never met my physical parents in the flesh ever. But they gave birth to a black God.
Right.
They could have had an abortion. Follow me with this. They could have been anti-King Noble.
Right.
In the womb. Kill this nigga. I'm teaching. They could have let the white doctor reach into the womb and strangle me with my own umbilical cord and hang me right there in the womb.
Oh, no.
Do you hear what I'm saying? They didn't. They chose a different option of putting me up for adoption. That was a lesser of evils, but greater than abortion. But I was born into this earth, even given that situation, still allowed to manifest without knowing my physical parents. The DNA of them, the DNA of my father is activated. I am the unconsciousness that was I'm the conscious that was unconscious in him that became conscious in me. So I and him are one, even though he knew me and I knew him not. I'm going heavy today. I'm going heavy. So it was important for him to give birth to a God anyway. Period. It's important for gods and goddesses to exist outside of the construct because the divine is in us. It's not in this or that beautiful situation. Gods can come out of any type of situation. We came out of 400 years of slavery. So you don't abort something before its mission is completed. Let its mission develop. Let it unfold to what its mission is. Only white supremacists want to abort black missions before they're incomplete. And I got to share something with this. Every time we abort a child, we're supporting white supremacy. Because the least that can happen is we get so overpopulated and become conscious and get mad that we don't have nothing to eat, that we take it all back from him. That's the worst that can happen. That is too many of us to even hold in jails. This is the worst that can happen with the overpopulation of black people. That ain't a black problem. That's something the white man should be worried about. Every time we abort a black child, we're working for white supremacy. Literally. That is Willie Lynch. He ain't even got to go and rip the woman's baby out of her stomach anymore with horses. He can get her to do it. So we got to go beyond the illusion of family. Because and also within that illusion of family, you don't take responsibility for none of the other children in the community. So isolated. If we saw every child as ours, we'd be raising the whole community. We'd be waking up all the children in the community. But since these are our children that we must protect from all other black children, keep them safe and secure from all the other community, that's anti-black supremacy. Right. Because we have to make sure that every black being in our community is moving more towards black supremacy. That is the responsibility of every individual in the community. And family must be set up based on individuals with those goals and objectives to wake up and move everybody in the community further towards black supremacy. Right. Not just to maintain this little isolated microcosmic expression of the macrocosm of the total situation of our community. So I want to really give some energy to that. Meditate on that, on enlightened selfhood, moving towards enlightened familyhood. Your individual responsibility to become an enlightened being is so great that the institutionalized concept of marriage is very distracting. Because there is an individual call on your life to be a totally and absolute black supreme being on everyone's life. Ain't there many are called, few are chosen? Everyone is called. Everyone is chosen. And we must adhere to the call to be more. Because black supremacy means being more and more of a supreme being every day. Getting greater and greater, more better and better, more positive and positive every day. That's a call on every black individual's life. And that is the first priority. And then to align with those who can help us become better and greater beings. Those who are better and greater beings. That we can help create a better and greater black world with. That is the objective.
Black supremacy.
We didn't come together to be attached and to become romantic and idealistic and confused. We came together to be stronger and to be more solid in our stance and our position wholeheartedly on black supremacy. And all of our relationships that we have should secure that reality. So I challenge people to step into their black supreme self, because in doing that, you can't use nobody else as an excuse. Because I see too many excuses. Nothing is stopping a person from being a black supreme being but themselves.
That's correct.
And anything that they're for a moment that they're casting that to is their problem. It's the illusion of, well, I'm in this and I had this relationship and it ain't going like this. Well, you be a move on and be a black supreme being. But the construct of marriage and family says, well, wait, there's a struggle here. No, be a black supreme being and exemplify black supremacy to all your family and to all beings that exist on the planet. 100%. The next subject that I want to go into. We've challenged ourselves to be black supreme beings all this time. But we need to put more work into administering black supremacy. And that's what I like to happen in the temple today. I saw the true spirit of the administration of black supremacy today, in effect. What I saw today is what I'm constructing. Where we administer black supremacy to this community, hands-on. We need more of that. Because if we get more of that, then we got more people to garden automatically. But for the right reasons. Not just some hippies to garden with. But we got some black supreme beings that want to pull their sleeves up and work for the purpose of black supremacy. But without the ministry, we don't wake the people up that need it to the work that need to be done. So I want to produce more ministers. We need to raise up our ministry of black supremacy. We need more people to come into ministers. Monks. I like to see this as an ashram of monks, people who have renunciated the material world of white supremacy and stepped into the oatmeal, rice, and yoga reality of black supremacy and take it up with that type of devotion and austerity, with that meditation. Some of us are consumers in a different way, and I got to go into this. We stop consuming on the material world to try to consume on the knowledge in the material world, and then even consume on an accomplishment level. We're not walking a steadfast way of life. We're trying to consume accomplishments. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. I may have did this and did that, but I've been doing black supremacy for the last 14 years. Steadfast. We must walk a steadfast way of life that can transcend all the changes. People say, okay, well, gardening is black supremacy. We need gardens. But you see what they're doing with the heart. You see how they're making clouds and how they affecting weather patterns. We see what's going on with pesticides. And we need, as black supreme beings, we can strategize even beyond that. Well, we can design our own heart machines to reverse everything that their heart machinery is doing.
That's right.
That ain't just gardening. The gardening is too small of a level. We got to get even beyond that to protect gardening. We're going to have to ourselves be able to direct the weather. Say we make rain, snow, sleet, hail, and earthquakes. Damn it, when we going to start doing it? The white man is doing it. So we got to... But by seeing black supremacy, we're not distracted by mediocre things that don't represent the meat of black supremacy. We are doing those things. But in the bigger picture of black supremacy, it's adaptable enough to grow when it's necessary and be able to respond to anything that this white man does. There'll be a time when it'll be hard to garden. He'll play with the weather. There'll be droughts. We need to stockpile food. We need to master canning foods, master dry food. It's so much that we need to master that the only solution is that we realize that we are the masters. We can't just pick up with one area of mastery because the time for that mastery is almost over with. It's already that's old information, like Dr. Malachi York used to say. Everything that we think we mastering now is old information. But if you realize you're the master, it's always new. Because you're ready to step up and respond to the situations that exist before us. So we can't just make it this or that. It must be adaptable. Because if you just become a supreme garden and then now you can't grow anymore based upon the agricultural sciences that you had and the knowledge that you have of agriculture, then what do you do then? If you realize you're a black supreme being, you come up with something else. The black supremacists will make it through 2012.
Absolutely.
2 suns on the earth. We moving into catastrophes and natural disasters.
Looking forward to it.
Where we can't even be safe farmers no more. Floods are coming. Natural disasters are on their way that only supreme beings will be able to survive. But some of us, just farmers, will be heartbroken. Literally. So that's why I said the foundation of it is black supremacy centered. As supreme beings, we can meet the challenges as long as we're mindful and revere being black supreme beings. We will constantly meet the challenges come what may. We won't avoid the challenges because we are attached to this particular skill that we have or this specific body of knowledge that we have. All of your bodies of knowledge is too small. Only till we put that all together as the mastermind under black supremacy can we be effective to deal and adapt to the changes that are about to happen on this planet. We got to put all those side things aside and put black supremacy on the forefront as a people. So I challenge people. Know that black supremacy is adaptable. But wake people up to that. It's to be honest, these health fanatics, self-righteous fanatics, it's crackheads out here that got more knowledge in all of these areas than all that we have. They have learned more within 20, 30 years since the Vietnam War, 40 years, than we will ever learn on this planet. But when they realize they're black supreme beings and get off the crack and the dope, then we have all that body of knowledge to use. So let's start making this a knowledge contest. Because all of our knowledge is limited. But as black supreme beings, there's nothing that we cannot do. Because one thing we can do as supreme beings is put it all together to come up with a supreme solution. No matter what the body of knowledge is that we have. So I want to bring us back into the administration of black supremacy. Let's really give that some thorough and deep meditation. That's my area I want to go into that. It's going to take a black supremacist mindset and raised up in all of our people to create change. We just can't give them a vegetable and walk away. Because I had brothers, and just being raised up in the conscious I had brothers just out there building with me. That I saw the supreme God in them. Even if they weren't saying black supremacy at the time, they was building and raising me up in the fortitude of what I had. I already was a vegetarian. But if I didn't have that holy breath, as we used to say in the Moorish Science Symbol of America, then I wouldn't be the man I am today. So we got to breathe this holy breath onto our sleep community. We got to breathe the breath of life, of the living word or the living God on them. And really today it is a New Testament. Because it's not old anymore. New information has come and hit this plane. That is coming out now that people got to start waking their mind up to. The old information gets old every time the universe changes. That's why they say God rewrites his history. Because even history is getting old. Because our perception is changing. So our perception of history is new. Because we have ascended. So we see history different than it was saw 400 years ago. So we're renewing history by going further and further into God consciousness. Because now we have a supreme understanding of what happened versus a limited mindset.